What challenge are we going to have for the longest chapter of the game?
Longest chapter of the game, I have rolled a 2. You are doing it speedrun, so you're going to make this chapter look as short as possible.
Okay. Well, that should work out quite nicely because there is a very, very, very awesome room that I like to speedrun. Now, the problem is I'm not listening to the sound. I have a bit of a trick for, like, you need sound cues to get through that room really well, but we'll worry about that when we get there. I'm going to beat this chapter as fast as possible. And, yeah, it's going to be fun. And I'm going to beat it so fast that I'm not even going to go into this hut that we see coming up here to get my hearts refilled. We're just totally going to skip by that and go into the first dungeon with only 3 hearts. Regardless of how many big hearts you pick up or how many hearts you have when you end a chapter, the number of heart containers and actual, like, life that you start with is always predetermined at the beginning of every chapter. So you'll notice we didn't pick up the big heart in the last chapter, yet we still have 6 hearts instead of 5 at the beginning of chapter 3. Plus, regardless of how much health we had, you always start a chapter with only 3 filled hearts, so
you can't 3 heart run StarTropics.
Yeah, pretty much.
You always get hearts, and I mean, like, you started chapter 2, you had 5 hearts, and last I checked, there's not a heart to pick up in chapter 1, right?
No, there's not. And also, this is a speed run, and I totally just went for that treasure chest. It's just second nature. It's second nature.
I hope when you go back to this video, you actually add a timer because I forgot to start a timer. I was going to compare your run to the actual world record split, and I forgot to start a timer.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay, well, see, this is actually, like, I was thinking about speedrunning, not thinking about doing it, but just thinking about if I did speedrun StarTropics. These 2 rooms, this one and the previous one, are probably, like, a speedrunning nightmare just because of how weird the movement patterns of these guys are. So, I mean, these rooms alone could probably make a big difference in somebody's speedrun, but now the rest of it's kind of just predetermined, so.
Oh yeah, I absolutely recommend watching. StarTropics does occasionally come up for a Games Done Quick, so...
Actually, the message board I was mentioning earlier, the person who does that actually posts there, so...
Hooray!
Check that out.
But yeah, there's... as we'll see pretty shortly with Chapter 3... Uh-oh, you're gonna die. Now, if you take a death, like, you lose, like, quite a bit of time. So
yeah, we're not gonna do
that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just getting nervous here. My hands are totally all sweaty from what I just had to endure in the last chapter. Oh, shoot, I didn't even hit the switch. See, I'm getting all nervous. When I try too hard, then I start screwing up. But when I'm just playing casually, it's like, whatever. What is a StarTropics?
There you go.
There we go. That's not going to make any world records, but it was probably faster than most people could do it. So it's funny because if you keep going to the left in that room, you hit a staircase, which boots you back to the beginning of the dungeon. It's just the biggest jerk move ever.
Wow.
But that's what this game is all about. So.
Wow. Okay.
I know I have to speedrun talking to people in the village. This is gonna be fun.
We can't read what they say, and because I'm watching this over Skype, I like the text box comes up and I see half of it. So I think some of these people are talking about something cola.
Something cola.
So.
Oh. But yeah, StarTropics, I mean, I guess one thing people could potentially complain about it. I mean, you have these sections where you just pretty much have to go around and talk to people. This person's funny. You have to tell her that she's the best, or else you can't progress with the game. So it's kind of biased there.
You're so honest and cute. I saw that.
Yeah, if you tell her that the one from the first island's cuter, then she just doesn't say anything. And it doesn't let you progress with the game. Also, I don't know if you have to talk to this guy or not, but I'm going to say that you have to because I kind of want health back. The TBH. Because then the speedrun's going to be really bad if I don't get any health back. So if I die.
That would be bad. Although you respawn with 3 hearts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But every time you start a new dungeon, it actually carries over like however many hearts you ended the last dungeon with, so I would have still just had 1.
You would have had 1, and you would, after death, you would have had 3.
Yes.
Okay. You may now enter.
But so far, we're in chapter 3, 25 minutes. Yeah, the second chapter really threw me off my game. We probably took an extra 10 minutes because of that. Oh well.
You're welcome, everyone.
You're welcome,
so,
everyone.
Okay, I'm remembering this chapter now. So your job is to go find some medicine for this town's daughter, and by doing so, you can get your sub fixed because your sub broke down, which is no good.
Yeah, so his daughter's been put into like an eternal sleep kind of thing. You need to go find a way to wake her up, so you find that, and yeah, exactly as you said, he fixes your broken submarine, and thus the game continues from there. But the game would be incredibly short if that hadn't happened. Again, take 5 levels out of the total, and it's almost half the game gone.
You take chapter 3 out of, but then again, maybe I would have actually gotten further in the game. When we get to it, I'll kind of point out where I remember getting, lost.
Is it the ghost tunnel?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I know it's a graveyard area where there's like a bunch of dungeons everywhere, and they all boot you back out.
Oh yeah, it's the ghost tunnel. Everybody gets stuck at the ghost tunnel.
Okay, glad I'm not the only one.
Again, Ghost Tunnel and Big Rock Tunnel, the last level of Chapter 6, are kind of the things that destroy everybody, and just kill anybody's motivation ever for playing this game. Oh my gosh. Anyway, here we go. Speedrun time.
Alright, let's do this. But yeah, as of late, just speaking from my personal perspective, now that school is done for the semester, I found myself playing a whole bunch of Ori and the Blind Forest, and that's a really fun game, so I'm looking forward to doing more of that.
Very nice.
Oh man, to think that when I started my YouTube channel myself, I think I'm over 5 years at this point. I should have done a 5-year anniversary. I didn't think to do so, but I was still going for my associate's degree at the time, and just playing around with some video editing stuff and wanted to play Paper Mario again and did it.
That's the best way to do it, huh?
Did it, yes.
Wow.
So that's kind of the story behind how I got started with Let's Plays. I was also motivated by other pretty famous Let's Players at the time, most notably Proton John and Azurblade, so kind of wanted to do what they were doing. And back 2008-ish, that was the really popular way to do Let's Plays. And nowadays, YouTube just has changed so much, not just in terms of the platform, but in terms of what's out there. Did you just get a -1?
I did. I mean, for the terms of speedrun, there's absolutely no reason to pick up that up. And I mean, I'm probably not going to die or need any extra lives anyway, but I have to pick up the sign just to see what I get. And yeah, we actually lost a life because of it.
Okay. But yeah, like, what constitutes, I guess, what's popular in terms of video game content on YouTube has changed quite a bit, and like considering what I was interested in and what I'm interested in now also has changed a little bit. So I absolutely love like watching really technical, in-depth explanations of stuff. I really love I can never pronounce it, like Panakick64's Mario 64 channel, just because of how much gruesome detail he goes into not pressing the A button.
He makes some really good videos for sure.
So it's like he will walk backwards into a wall for 12 hours to avoid pressing A one more time and instead hold it the entire time. So, oh man. Well, now I'm kind of happy that you didn't get one hand for this, because I remember this boss being a pain in the butt.
I don't think it would be happening if I did.
So, but he just kind of like spews fire at you, and it's just like, oh yeah, and this room's a puzzle too. I forgot about that detail.
Yeah. Just for the sake of the speedrun, I was just taking a ton of hits there at the end. But yeah, I would have to think that's pretty top tier, the speed that I just went through this dungeon at. I don't think there were too many areas I could have improved the speed, except for probably like this room. But yeah, I have to think that as terms of speedrun goes, I accomplished that goal in this level.
There you go. Good job. So, but yeah, that's kind of the type of video that I'm interested. The only caveat being, I work a full-time job. I'm still in school and taking care of other matters. It's just like my free time has dissipated into nothingness for like 2016 altogether. So, so we'll see what I end up doing, because I do want to get back into YouTube, but I need to do it in a way that works. Not to disappoint my audience. Oh look, I've got a video. 3 months later, I got a video. Unless it's a video worth waiting 3 months for. But with the way YouTube's algorithm works now, they really like want you to push content every day, and content people watch and keep coming back to. They pretty much rate your channel based on watched minutes, which is, say someone clicks on your video, they watch it for so many minutes. The more minutes you accumulate, kind of the better YouTube impression your channel has. So that's kind of the metric to go for, at least nowadays.
See, back when I started my channel, I actually wasn't in school. I was taking a bit of time off, and I was uploading like a minimum of 5 videos a week, sometimes 6. I think I even had like a couple of 7 video a week weeks. Yeah, so that was pretty incredible. But of course, I just don't have the time to do that these days. But again, referencing back to when I mentioned, you know, I sounded very monotone and different back when I first started my channel. I was not a very good speaker at all, and just, you know, doing things like presentations, I would get super nervous. If you want to overcome, you know, your inability, well, not inability, but if you want to become a better, you know, public speaker and a more confident person, upload a YouTube video almost every day, like a minimum of 20 YouTube videos a month, and that will do so much for your ability to speak and just to, you know, express your ideas and do things in front of others without getting nervous. Like, it helped me so much, and creating a YouTube channel is definitely one of the greatest decisions I ever made, and not just because it was fun, but because it really helped me out in my life overall. So
hey,
anyone out there who's looking for something like that, just do it.
There you go. You got ghosts in this room. So this dungeon not only has the whole ghost gimmick and whatnot, but it's also very difficult. And as we've mentioned in the past, StarTropics is a very trappy game. So the thing I remember is always just getting booted back to the graveyard, and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, so see, anytime you see like a door that I'm not going into, that's probably a door that leads to a dead-end room that leads to a staircase that then leads back out of the dungeon. So, darn, I pressed the A button at the wrong time. I never screw that up. I usually, because what happens is there's ghosts and they're invisible, and you can't kill them or see them unless you use that item that I picked up. It's called the Rod of Sight. But what happens is, they can still hurt you even if you can't see them. And I knew that there was one coming at me, but I just screwed up the A button press because that's what I do when I'm making videos. You know, nothing ever goes according to plan. But anyway.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, about YouTube, I will say I'm very thankful I made my YouTube channel at the time. I think maybe I was trying to draw not the correct audience by recording videos at 3 a.m. when I'm naturally very eccentric, because that may have just drawn, you know, people who are younger and just wanted to listen to an eccentric crazy man, but there's so many other people who do eccentric crazy men on YouTube also. You're doing this room completely dark.
See, I can't hear either. There were 2 sinking tiles in that last portion there. And they screwed it up anyway. But basically, the really cool part is that you usually have to go down and get a lantern and then come back up, and you use the lantern to be able to see what you're actually doing. And it's really tricky to do it without the lantern because there's sinking tiles in the last portion of this room that you would usually, you know, result in falling into the water, obviously, if you can't see them because you don't know when to jump. But if you do what I did, then you can kind of figure it out. But I think I might have screwed it up because I got hit. Maybe? No, actually, okay, I did it again. So, yeah, there's a trick to that. But anyway, I killed the speedrun.
Well done again. Just because I'm impressed that you went through that room completely blind.
Thank you.
Maybe next time I should make the dice roll blindfold. I think that's a little too challenging, though.
But yeah, that's probably one of the coolest things in the game. If you want to speedrun, you have to be able to beat that room without going for the lantern, which takes like an extra forever. But then I died anyway, so I died.
Hey, you got to show it twice.
Yeah, I screwed up. Oh well.
Right. There you go. So yeah, I'm very thankful I made my YouTube channel. I think that's what I was trying to say earlier. So, learned a whole lot about video editing, you know, through the last, I guess in my case, it's more closer to 6 years in total. I will say, like, as I started doing the Let's Plays of the Mario and Luigi series, I probably got a bit too crazy with Avicynth. Like, I would have 300, 400, 500 line Avicynth scripts to do stuff. And, like, I was definitely pushing Avicynth to its limits because Avicynth was sometimes crash a couple times before I would finally get, like, a render out of it just because I was telling it to do too damn much. So, and, like, for some of the stuff I was doing, like, I didn't have to use Avicynth. I just was doing it because I can be frame perfect. I can say frame 529, you know, do the transition, or frame 364, you know, put in text here or there or do whatnot. I love that consistency and just that programmatic goodness of putting in a number instead of using, you know, a slidey bar in Sony Vegas. But in the end, that ultimately takes longer to do than just using the slidey bar in Sony Vegas. So, but yeah, I guess that's kind of my point of view on YouTube, and I do want to get back into it, so. You're doing pretty well for yourself, Andrew.
Thank you. We're almost done the dungeon. See, this is the dungeon that everybody hates, even though it's not that bad, really, ish.
These mummies are a pain in the butt.
Yeah, they take too many hits. Sometimes you'll enter this room and you'll kill one mummy, and the door will open. Other times you have to kill, like, all of them. And it's ridiculous. Also, this room has totally a secret, but, yeah.
I see. But you're not going for it. Not important,
Nope. Well, it's hearts, which we'll try to beat the level with.
Okay. Okay.
I've already died once. Why? Like, it's really embarrassing. I would not normally die to the hand guy, but I mean, I don't know what caused that problem this time, but it did. Anyway,
taking hearts to lose time.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
And
to
so
that regard.
the unconventional way we're gonna beat this boss is normally you would go to the bottom and you would use the bola to kind of shoot, but if you stay up in this corner, he'll sometimes come by and you can actually kill him with the yo-yo, which is kind of fun. But you have to have good timing because you have to be able to jump over these things when they come at you. But we'll see. If it takes too long, I'll just do it the normal way. But sometimes he like hangs out in the middle too much and doesn't come over here. But yeah, there is a way to do it in case you do run out of the weapon.
I see, like, you still have 40 of that weapon, and, like, StarTropics does typically give you a pretty plentiful supply of weapons, of course, with the caveat being you run out, sometimes you can really make things more difficult for yourself, like here.
Mm-hmm.
So, or some cases further on, maybe even impossible. One of the items I was considering having on the roll die was yo-yo only, but then I realized you use the yo-yo on, like, 80% of enemies anyway.
Yeah.
And I thought sub-item only, but then I was also like, but then, like, what's the point of that if he's not going to kill anything unless he has to, and then use up all the sub-weapons? So, unfortunately, those challenges didn't make it onto the dice rolls.
See, the thing about staying up in the corner and doing only yo-yo is that none of the small ghosts get shot at you, so, I mean, that's kind of cool. But, again, it takes a long time for kind of no reason.
And you only got one heart left. Oop,
yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, we're good. I knew that we were close, so I just kind of... this room also has a really pointless ghost. If you still have any Rod of Sight left, which I don't believe I do, there's a ghost in one of the corners that serves absolutely no purpose. And killing it would only reduce your score, so there's absolutely no reason to kill it.
Really?
Well, you know
I
how
remember.
Score works, I think.
I remember score is really stupid in StarTropics. I forgot how it works though. I had score run on my list too.
So what I believe, it's up for debate, I think, but I think it's pretty much kind of confirmed now, is every level has kind of a base score. And the way it works is for every enemy you kill, I believe 60 points are deducted from that score.
Really?
It makes no sense. So killing less enemies gives you a greater score. Don't ask why. Don't ask why.
So if I roll score run, you have to go pacifist, you're saying?
I do. I have to like pretty much only kill enemies that are required for opening doors and such.
Wow. Okay, this will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then. Well, I probably learned that at some point and forgot, and then relearned it, and then remembered, oh yeah, that's right, StarTropics' score system makes no sense. Chances are somebody was programming it and just put a plus to a minus, or accidentally typed the minus, and no one ever noticed because who plays for score?
I've thought about that too, the possibility of it being an error, because it's just so weird. I mean, I guess you could kind of look at it like golf style. Lowest score wins, right? I don't know.
I suppose you could also look at it like golf style. Try to get through StarTropics with the lowest points possible.
Like, the score system is just so silly. I remember as a kid, it would just completely, like... I was just so confused by it, because no matter what I did, I couldn't figure it out. But now with people digging through ROMs and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed now that that's how it works.
Going step by step through the ROMs, and by the way, you look like a girl now.
Basically, the whole thing here is only girls can go into this place. Oh man, gotta, crazy cross-dressing shenanigans ensue. And you need to do this in order to get to the 4th level, which is still leaves 2 levels left of World 3, which is, again, why I said it's the longest world of the game. But the good thing about right here is we actually get a weapon power-up, although it only activates if we have 6 or more hearts. And considering I didn't pick up the big heart in this chapter, that pretty much we need to have full health in order to use the powered-up weapon. Oh well.
I think this is another reason why Chapter 3 is so hard, because you have 6 hearts and you have so many dungeons to go through. Although you said you can get a 7th, is that right?
Yeah, we could have gotten the 7th before the ghost tunnel, and then picking up that big heart also would have filled our health to full, which would have pretty much guaranteed that we wouldn't have died. But that's not how we're doing this playthrough. We're doing this the Andrew way, which is the crazy way.
Okay then.
Another reason we wanted to go in there is we had to learn the secret to entering the 4th level, which you can technically go to before beating the 3rd level, although until you talk to that person, you won't be allowed to proceed. So we could have gone down here at any point, but we would have hit a dead end. So basically, this is all new to you, or I mean, I guess you've probably seen it. Like, yeah, you said you've seen it now.
I've saw your Let's Play. I haven't played at this point, though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There you go. Well done.
Thank you.
Now, if I could just pick up an NES Classic and play all the classics again that I missed. Oh.
Well, so will it be like amiibos eventually? I mean, you have to hope so. Like, now you can pretty much go out and buy any amiibo you want.
I hope so. But then again, Evil Pop-Tart was talking about how he has a Meta Knight amiibo. I think he still has it in the package, and how he was checking eBay, and they were still going for some decent prices on eBay. But I was also checking Amazon, and the Meta Knight amiibo is being sold at its retail price. So I have to wonder where the value on eBay is coming from, or what he was looking at. So why don't I check that right now, actually?
Sure. So the whole point of this level is it's really short. It's just kind of supposed to introduce you to the new weapon that you got. But since you need 6 hearts to use it, and I only had 1 heart, and it only gives you 4 hearts, I'm stuck at 5 hearts, and thus we didn't get to see the new weapon at all. But we didn't need it, so whatever.
Wow, you've done it.
Yeah, like that shortest level of the game.
Alright, so this is what I'm seeing on eBay, an unpackaged Meta Knight amiibo going for $35. So that's definitely more than $12.99. It's not the ridiculous $100 that they were going for. Like, when the very first wave of amiibo came out, and like there was the Villager and the Marth amiibos, that I guess because people thought Nintendo was going to make any more of these, because who wants Villager? Who wants Marth?
Who wants Marth? Yeah, who would want that?
Who wants Marth? Everybody knows if you want to play Fire Emblem, you got to get the Corrin amiibo. Fire Emblem Fates, I will tell you, is a really fantastic Fire Emblem game. But one thing to say about Fates is that it is very mechanically different from the other Fire Emblem games. In that it takes the pair-ups and whatnot mechanics from Fire Emblem Awakening, but makes it significantly more practical and practical in that it's not luck-based anymore, but it instead is based on, well, what tactics you're using and how you're doing things. But the enemies can also, use it on you. And they've also introduced like 1 billion skills to the game, so it's just way too addicting to like want to play a game and you're like, oh, I want my character to learn this skill or whatnot, or do this and that, and then you want to marry this person to that person, and then all of a sudden you're driven insane by everything you could do.
That's weird that they would change it up so much.
So, but it's a pretty good game. Yeah, I'm not sure if you've even played a Fire Emblem game. Have you, Andrew?
No, I've seen them, but
okay.
I haven't.
Have you played XCOM? Because that's another comparable game to Fire Emblem. Advance Wars?
I know that I'm not a strategy RPG person.
Okay.
So
I'm not necessarily the biggest strategy RPG person, but just something about Fire Emblem is pretty fun to me. When Fire Emblem Awakening came out, I played through that like 8 times. And I know that as a fact because I would go back and forth each playthrough as a male and female avatar, Robin. And I know I went through the game 8 times because my names for the male avatars were Matthew, Mark, Luke, John.
Huh.
Just because I couldn't think of anything, and so I decided to first go Matthew, not even thinking of naming them after the disciples. But then I'm like, okay, Mark, and I named Mark because Mark is actually the default name of the avatar in Fire Emblem 7, and I just decided to go with it. Funny how that works. I forgot what I named my female avatars though. I know I named one of them Luna and another one Celeste. Couldn't fit in Celestia. Grr. Grr.
So this is the final dungeon of World 3, and it gives you a whole bunch of weapons and items and stuff to use, but it's really rather pointless because this level actually has no boss. One thing that we actually haven't seen yet is the shooting star, which is the powered up version of the yo-yo. I haven't had 6 hearts yet, so we've been still playing with just the yo-yo. And so you were saying like a yo-yo only run? Well, that's essentially what this level has been so far. So I haven't
Really?
had a full health bar, but it's
Okay,
almost
then.
done. It's not too difficult the whole level. The funniest part is actually coming up where it kind of becomes a maze if you don't know what you're doing. You can kind of just keep looping around for all eternity, but I mean, obviously I know what to do, so not such a big deal. But that's what I'm saying, like StarTropics, there's definitely a learning curve there. Like even the overworld exploration parts, like you'll see in the next chapter when we're searching for the lighter inside the whale, that could easily take you half an hour to an hour if you haven't played the game before. But as me, someone who knows exactly the path to take, it will take less than like 3 minutes to get through the whale. So
Now I want to see the StarTropics strategy guide just to see like what the whole layout of the whale looks like. Uh-oh.
It's
Salvage
okay.
that, but
We're not in such bad shape. If we can get past this room, I'm going to show off a secret that I just discovered about, I think, 2 months ago in this game.
Really?
Something that so many people who have played this game for so many years never knew about, and it's insane. It's something you would never expect to see. Like, it just
It's
blew
not
our mind
like-
because it's something that
Wow.
doesn't happen anywhere else in the entire game, to our knowledge.
okay. I really want to see this now. You're rolling up the suspense.
Are you watching?
Yes, I am. Oh, there's a footpad there?
It's a tile that looks like a piece of grass, and you have to jump on it. But there's no reason you would ever walk into that corner. And it makes 2 hearts appear. But that was just something that none of us knew about until one day, again, the forum I mentioned earlier, someone came and posted like, oh, hey, this is missing from the map on StarTropics.com, which is the website that's affiliated with the forum, which you can go on and find all the maps and information about the items and such. But yeah, and they're like, hey, this is missing from your map. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know that existed. So, and everybody's mind was just blown, so it was kind of
Mind
incredible.
blowing.
Yeah.
You could imagine you're looking at the strategy guide and it doesn't even show that block.
I don't think that StarTropics ever had an official strategy guide.
I'm looking this up right now.
Only like a lot of the really popular NES games got them, like Mario 3 and such.
Sure there wasn't something in Nintendo Power? I'm checking right
Oh,
now.
well, actually, you're fine. You're right. There definitely was 2 issues of Nintendo Power, which like each one covered about half the game. So you're actually right about that. Now that I think about it, I never did go back and check to see if it was mentioned. I don't believe it was, though. So I've read through the StarTropics sections of both of them. Unless I just missed it, but...
Well, I found StarTropics.com, which has some scans, which I think are from Nintendo
Yes,
Power.
I think you're right. I'm pretty sure it's on there. And again, StarTropics.com. Again, it's connected with the message board that I was talking about. So if you need more information about StarTropics, it's definitely there for you. It's an awesome game. And then there's the sequel too, but we're not playing that tonight. But Milesluigi, we're done Chapter 3, and that was we had issues. Unfortunately, there was that unfortunate death, but otherwise, I think I did pretty well.
Refer to the timer that is hopefully on the screen that I'm trying to point to right now.
Regardless, though, that's the longest chapter, so.
Okay, so we're entering Chapter 4. How about we call it just a really, really quick break? I'll roll well, Chapter 4 doesn't have any dungeons. I'll roll the dice for Chapter 5. We'll be right back, everyone.
Sure. See you soon.